Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day. Sometime today I'm probably going to change the heater core and lemonade here. We got this 2002 V70. I think it's a base model. It's got several things I need to do to it. I've done some work on it a few months ago, replaced this tail light, straightened that body out a little bit as much as I could, replaced some parts on it, but we're gonna do some more work on that here in the next day or two. And then we have this one over here, which I believe is a 2010. This one has a no crank, no start issue that I need to check out. So I'm going to see if I can get this thing running so Mr. Steve could get this car on the road and, you know, have two vehicles again. Let me go grab my battery tester out of Lemonade and test the battery and see how this thing is, kind of battery health he has here. Good Lord, this is a heavy door. That is insane. Hood's already open. Let me go grab the tester. Even though there's some kind of tether battery charging trickle charger thing on here, it's not plugged in. It's not powered up. It's not doing anything. So I'm going to test the battery. I'm going to call it before charge. We hooked the battery tester up. We don't have nothing. This thing is dead to the world. So I'm going to grab my jump box, hook it up, leave it hooked up for a minute or two, and then see if I get this thing to crank. My jump box, Shoemaker, 100% charged. As soon as I hook it up to the battery, this cooling fan starts running. Man, that'll drain a battery quicker than anything. There's no key in the ignition or none of that kind of stuff. So I'm probably going to unplug that fan and try to jump start this thing. But let me show you what I'm saying here. I don't know if they didn't realize that was going on, but that's a deal killer. Let me unplug that fan. I think I could reach down here and unplug it right here. I had a zip tie around the wire harness that would prevent unplugging it because the cable's so thick. So I cut that zip tie out of that little zip tie holder. I reached down with one hand and undid the latch on the wire harness on this thing. Pushed this tab in, pulled the wire harness up with the other hand. It is now unplugged. Let's hook this thing back up. Since this battery is so dead, I'm going to leave this thing plugged up for, let's say, 2 minutes, and then I'm going to try to crank it. I have no idea why, but this vehicle has a lot of condensation on the inside of the windshield. 124,000 miles. Actually 125. It's closer to 125. So let's stick the key in here. See if this thing will start. How about that? Put your foot on the brake, I guess. Fires right up. Disconnect the jump box. Cuss music. Fan is on. I don't know what the temp is, but I'm gonna let this thing run. Man, not much, because I don't want this thing overheating, and I don't see a temp gauge. Anybody see a temp gauge on this thing? Yeah, that sucks. It'll just tell you when it's hot and overheating. course, the headlights are on, daytime running. Cut this fan off here. I'm gonna put it on defrost. Heck, I don't know what's front and what's back. Maybe that'll dry this window up. We got a dead battery, folks. In this video, we're gonna pull a battery from this 2010 3.2 Volvo XC70. You open the hood, you take this seal up gasket. It stops stuff from an engine compartment from blowing over the windshield. Next, you want to unlatch this, lift it up out of the way, which gives you access to the positive cable of the battery. Then you unlatch this, pick this up, gives you access to the rest of the battery. Next I'm going to undo that 10 millimeter, move the cables out of the way. It looks like there's a secondary cable connection here. Then you undo this, looks like a 13 millimeter, move this cable out of the way. Then you undo this 10, which will let you get the battery totally disconnected. Then you got to look down there and look for the battery hold down latch. Let me get the cables off, see where it goes from there. Never pulled one of these batteries before. The battery hold down has a 10 millimeter way down there. I'm going to take that loose and hopefully I'll be able to get the battery out after I remove that screw. After I cut the car off, I couldn't get the key out. So I hooked the jump box up to it. I don't know. I don't know how to get the key out of this thing. Shift to remove key. Shift to park. I'm in park. Need my key. It does not know that I'm in park. Ay. Let me go out here and hook up some more power. Right now I'm hooked up to this cable that comes back toward the fender. Let me hook up to the cable that goes, what I think is, to the starter. Well, that didn't work. So let me hook that cable up to that cable, put the positive on both of those, then hook up to the negative with the jump box, then try to get the key out. All right. I can't get the key out. I don't know what's going on with this thing. If you lose power with this thing, you might not better get your key out. Got the new battery set in place. You got to set it down. You got to slide it all the way toward the windshield. You got to slide it all the way toward the driver's door. Then I plugged in this vent tube. Then you hook up the securing thing. Slide that down there, put it over the hole so that it's against the battery like this, and then bolt it down. Had to reach down there and do that. Get this cable out of the way so I can have space to do that. And then hook up the positive, then hook up the negative. So I slid the cap off of there. We got a new battery. They did not have the ability to prorate the type of battery we had, so they just gave us a new one with no warranty. The lift up on this to get this grommet set in here right. So I guess technically you don't have to pull this 13 millimeter out to get this battery out. You just pull this 10 out. I'm going to tighten up the 13, tighten up the 10, then put the ground on. Then see if I can put those two panels on. Go get my Key out of ignition. Plug this fan in, start it up, read codes, see what's going on with this thing. Fires right up. I'm gonna shut it down, hook up the fan, and see if the fan cuts on. Then start it back up, let it run for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna shut it down and scan it for codes. The fan did come back on as soon as I plugged the fan in, even with the key out of the car, so that's not good. So we got the AC off. No reason for this engine fan to be on. Let me see if I can read engine temp, stuff like that with my scanner. Well, my Vita computer crashed, so I'm going to try to scan this car with my launch scanner. It has no fault codes, so the scanner can't read it. That's convenient. See if it reads vehicle information. Yep, read the VIN. Alright, since it has no codes, I'm going to assume that the fan is the problem and not the temp sensor. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.